Will this work for straight stuff? Of course, but it's the curved stuff that often gives trouble. So think beyond your skirts and dresses. Think about your tops, your sleeves, your ruffles. We've got 5 ways coming up so you can choose the perfect hem for something curved. Bias binding is exceptionally beautiful because it finishes both sides. So when you have a flutter sleeve like this, both sides do need to be finished. And I made this from a self-made bias binding because I wanted to keep the weight, which was just a puff of air, the same. So you do need to watch the weight if you're going to buy it versus making it. Now, if you make it, we're going to pretend that this is a bolt of fabric. It usually comes in a long rectangle. Make a square, and that diagonal line is where you cut your bias strip. Let's have a look at this pre-bought bias. We're putting it on these curves in this project. What you'll see with pre-bought bias is that the 2 edges are folded up and pressed in. So that's what you'll have to do with your own bias if you're making it. Now to sew it, we've just got a row of stitching around that first crease. And that's all it is. As you can see, it doesn't pucker because the bias nature makes it malleable. And then we flip it over the edge of the raw thing that you're doing and clip it down, and that folded second edge keeps all the raw edges tucked up, and that's why it's such a beautiful finish. We just need to go around that with a sewing machine and top stitch that without falling off the edge. And that's your bias binding finished for curved edges, like a flutter sleeve. Could be for anything. And of course, there's some cons in your decisioning as well. I love a pin hem because it's so easy and it's almost textureless, and both sides are sort of catered for. So a pin hem, when I do it, I don't do it pin thin. I do it a little bit wider, and it involves just a turn up on the edge of your circle skirt, which is what I'm working on here, or whatever it is you're working on. And after you've done that first turn up, you're going to turn it up again and do a whole nother circumference of stitching. Now to get it thinner than what I'm doing, I've got a very well behaved cotton going on, but if you're using a fine fabric, you may well want that pin, real pin, thin hem. And you would do that by folding up the first fold and doing this stitch that I'm doing here, but your stitch line would be really close to the fold, okay, really close. Then you trim off the excess, and then for this second fold, you would be sewing, well, you'd be folding it on that first stitch line. So that stitch line's now on the fold if it's super thin. And then this needle is the one that you're going to see as the stitch line on the outside of the garment. So you would keep this one very narrow as well. But I've got a 6mm hem going on here. It's very, very easy to do, and it still moves. It does have a little bit more structure and weight with a crisper fabric like what I'm working with, but again, that's fabric dependent, and this is a lovely floaty hem, really good choice. You don't have to finish off the raw edges because of that double turn that you're doing. And sneak peek at the rolled hem, we are going to do it. And here you can see the finished hemline on my quarter circle skirt. It's a very long one, and you can find it in the top right corner if you'd like to make that too. Obviously there are some cons, so these are the cons that I can see in this choice. Moving on to the easiest hem in the world. Now I finished my edges first. I've done it with overlocking, and you can do that with zigzag or an overcast stitch on your sewing machine. The reason why I've done overlocking is it provides a very nice crisp turn up, so your turn up will be the same all the way around. You'll be perfectly even and straight. And then we just, on the underneath, do our single row of circumference stitching for the hem with a straight stitch. And I'm working on chiffon here. That overlocking did give me a nice handle, and this is what it looks like. Just a perfectly straight stitch on the edge. Now, of course, you can see how beautifully flowy that is because there's no double turn-ups, but these are the cons. A rolled hem is the most exquisite hem, and we do it on very, very fine fabrics. It's seamless, it finishes both sides, it's super narrow, it's really floaty, it's perfect. So you can see underside, upper side, almost textureless. We're catered for both sides. Now, you'll need to get this Duvalaki. This is your rolled hemming foot. It looks a bit like a pencil sharpener because it's got a spiral there and it's going to turn your fabric 360 degrees into a hem. So the first thing, obviously, is your foot change, which is easy enough. The cons of this hem is that there is a learning curve to it. So I'm going to put in a video in the top right corner which goes through all the secrets of rolled hemming, because this video is about your choices and you will need a full proper tutorial to learn, and you'll need some practice. So that tutorial will go through a number of things. One of them is, well, how do you go over seams? Going over seams with a tiny thing that's scrolling your material into a funnel is problematic. Then how do you get it on the foot? Because we aren't dealing with an edge, we are dealing with a circle. So how do you get it on? That's commonly missed. Then how do you drive it? Because sometimes you can drive it and get too much in there and it over scrolls and you get a bit sticking out. Sometimes you can underdrive it and you can't get it in. You don't have enough to roll in. So the consistency of driving with this foot, it's your hands that are doing it, where to place your hands and how to get that consistency, all covered in that video. Now the last thing, it's not the last thing, but a big thing is, how do you end? If you're doing a circle like a hem, and this scrolls, will it not keep turning it under perpetually? So we have to work out how to end it as well. Having learned all of that, this is the perfection that you're going to get in this type of hem. Super lightweight, no texture, tiny, perfect hem. And I've done that in these garments here on the underskirts. We've also got this little ruffle, which was made out of a circle. A frill can be made out of a circle. And again, it's like a breath of air, this little top. Super fine fabric, perfect hem. These are your cons for your rolled hem, if you're choosing to do a rolled hem. On to my last option. I really, really like this one. And yes, you can press them if you want more perfection, but you can also finger press it. One of the reasons I really enjoy this hem, it's a lot easier than doing 2 rows of circumference of hemming. You're only going to do one because we're going to turn it up in one fell swoop. Now I have finished the edge, helps me with my turn up, keeps it nice and even and crisp. You can do that with a zigzag, you can do that with an overcast stitch. I like the overlocker because of that evenness and that help with the turn up. Once you've finished your edge, and maybe you don't even have to finish your edge, it just depends on how much security you want with the fraying, but I like to do that. It's just running around the circumference. It's also really handy if you've got a limited amount of the colour of your thread like I had here. I didn't want to do 2 rows of stitching around the circumference because it's a long way. So I got out with just this little bit of a stitch. All right, that's what it looks like. Really just simple. And there's no texture against your legs. I like it for that reason too. And that's the dress that I did this one on. So which one's your favourite? Which one would you use? Or would you choose based on practicalities and style and how much energy you have? They're all valid reasons. Just one little note, whenever you've cut something on the bias, circle skirts, quarter circle skirts, flutters, they're all on the bias, hang them for at least 24 hours because they're going to drop before you hem them, okay? Enjoy your comfy life. Tell me what you think is your favourite one. I'll see you next time.